Coming up tonight on SLU News 22.
A power outage briefly disrupted activities last week, including the latest GIC speaker.
There are several events associated with Homeless Awareness Week coming up this week.
The nuclear situation in Japan continues to deteriorate.
Spring season sports are in full swing, and we'll have an update and your updated forecast from Chief Meteorologist David Keller. Live from the Bush Student Center studios, this is SLU News 22. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Last Wednesday's winds of up to 40 miles per hour caused a power outage that affected much of the St. Louis University Frost campus. According to the Assistant Director of Facilities Management, Keith Mewson, the substation that provides power to 21 buildings east of the clock tower went down at approximately 4:33 p.m. due to damages to electrical lines that triggered more equipment failure. All of these buildings were evacuated, and most of them remained closed for the rest of the evening due to safety concerns. Ameren made it a priority to get the substation back up because it also provides power to some buildings in the surrounding area. According to Ameren Communication Executive Lisa Manzo, 3,800 customers lost power in the metropolitan St. Louis area, including parts of the Midtown area and the Central West End. The power outage quickly affected activity on campus as student and staff were evacuated from the Bush Student Center and fire alarms were triggered in DuBourg Hall. The St. Louis Fire Department also responded to an elevator entrapment that was reported at Fitzgerald Hall. The outage affected several events on campus, including the Michelle Rhee speech hosted by the Great Issues Committee and a performance of Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s with Rebtar at the Billiken Club, which were scheduled to be held in the center. The GIC event was relocated to Chaffetz Arena, and the Billiken Club canceled its performances. Power was restored to all buildings by 8:45 p.m.
I didn't even know Fitzgerald Hall had an elevator. And despite being relocated to Chaffetz Arena due to the power outage, GIC's latest speaker still drew a large crowd for her speech Wednesday evening. GIC invited Michelle Rhee to speak on education in America in association with Education Week on campus. Luke Gatta, Vice President of the committee, said Rhee was brought to campus because of her strong impact on education. The focus of Rhee's speech was the future of public education and how the system can be changed, how it can be reformed. It's not the kids, but it's the culture we are creating for our educators, said Rhee in her speech. The teachers can make all the difference for our students. SLU News 22 correspondent and Mondays in Midtown host Mark J. Zinn sat down with Rhee before her speech on Wednesday. Let's take a look.
I'm feeling very hopeful right now that things are going to change in America.
So what are some of the problems?
Well, I'd say if we had to boil it down to one main thing or two main things, it would be first that there is a real lack of accountability for the quality of education that we're delivering to kids. And the second is that education has become incredibly political. So how decisions are made and which decisions are made and when all comes down to the politics and adult issues instead of a focus on the kids.
And you can see the rest of that gripping interview tonight on Mondays in Midtown.
Winter is determined to maintain its grip on the St. Louis area, as shown by the 5 inches of snow that fell Saturday. Snow began around the noon hour, and it quickly accumulated on grass and trees. While several inches of snow accumulated, the warm ground and temperatures near freezing made for wet rather than white roadways. A few slick spots developed, but few problems were reported.
And David is here now with our first forecast. David, what the hell is going on out there?
Well, we had a little taste of winter this weekend as a storm system dropped in from the north and brought in quite a bit of cold air and managed to produce that very wet, heavy snow that we saw on Saturday. However, the snow melted away very quickly. The strong March sunshine came out on Sunday, and the snow was gone by the afternoon. And we saw more sun today, and that helped temperatures to warm up into the 40s. We're sitting at 45 degrees outside right now. It is rather dry out, though, with a dew point of 21. So we're not expecting much in the way of precipitation overnight tonight. Temperatures across the region were in the middle 40s to middle 50s down to our south, where they were just a little bit warmer. Clouds are on the increase this evening as the storm system is approaching from the northwest. It looks like there's a lot of rain developing there on the satellite and radar loop. However, most of that is not reaching the ground due to the dry conditions with those low dew points. So our forecast for overnight, temperatures are expected to drop to near the freezing mark once again, so well below normal for this time of year. The clouds will be increasing. We may see a few showers by tomorrow morning, and we have more cold air and chances for snow in the forecast. So we'll get to that forecast in a little bit.
March 28th in St. Louis. Jeez. Well, that's what happens here. Thanks, David. And students got their first look at the recently closed Grand Bridge last week after returning from spring break. Many students were apprehensive about returning, worrying about the effect the closure may have on commute times between the Frost campus and the medical campus. Official closure of the bridge occurred while a majority of the SLU community was on spring break. According to Joe Stump, Mail and Transportation Services Supervisor, a lack of activity around campus allowed St. Louis motorists to find alternate routes before students returned from break. The city encouraged motorists to use Vandeventer Avenue, Compton Avenue, and Jefferson Avenue as alternate routes.
Regina Matthew, a freshman in the Boise College of Health and Sciences, said she was nervous about using the shuttle system for the first time since the closure, arriving at the shuttle stop an hour early, expecting potential delays on her way to class on the Health and Sciences campus. To her surprise, the trip only took 20 minutes. This seems to be representative of many students' experiences with the new shuttle route. Brianna Keller, a junior in the Boise College of Health and Sciences, said she arrived to classes only 5 minutes after leaving the main campus.
Pardon our camera issues, folks. Mark J. Zinn forgot a tripod, but we still love him. And in addition to the rerouted shuttle loop, the Grand Metro station will remain closed for at least another week as construction crews demolish the portion of the bridge around the station. Until the Grand Metrolink stop reopens, Metro is providing alternate transportation around the SLU campus. Metro Bus will be providing a reroute of the number 70 Grand Bus service that will pick up at the Union Station Metrolink stop. The red northbound number 70 will connect passengers to the Frost campus, and the blue southbound number 70 will connect to St. Louis University Medical Center, the medical school, and Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital. Hope you followed all that.
SLU's chapter of Habitat for Humanity will be hosting a 5K run/walk on Sunday, April 3rd. The race leaves from the clock tower at 10 a.m. and day off registration begins at 9 a.m. Registration costs $12 in advance and $15 the day of. All proceeds benefit Habitat for Humanity St. Louis. Also, this is Homeless Awareness Week on campus. As part of this, you may have noticed the facts about homelessness lining the quad that hope to enlighten you about the problem of homelessness in the United States. On Tuesday, keynote speaker Jay Swoboda, creator of What's Up magazine, will speak about his work with St. Louis's homeless at 7 p.m. in the St. Francis Xavier College Church Ballroom. What's Up magazine is a local magazine that reports on social issues in St. Louis. The homeless in St. Louis are employed by the magazine as vendors. Open Doors Homeless Outreach will be taking place on Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. 400 homeless people will be on campus to share a meal, clothing, and be provided access to social services at Simon Rec.
And Friday, April 1st will be a day of service that gives students the chance to understand how an agency that works with homeless families affects them. The opportunity will take place at Hope House and will also attempt to shed light on the many contributing factors of homelessness. No April Fool's Day there.
This Thursday at Busch Stadium is the St. Louis Cardinals baseball season opener game against the San Diego Padres. Before the game, there will be a free opening day rally in Keener Plaza from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. with live music, games, giveaways, and more. The game itself starts at 3:15 p.m. and for tickets, please go to stlouis.com. www.cardinals.mlb.com.
And there will be an adult egg hunt. Let's see, there we go. There will be an adult egg hunt this Friday at Jefferson Barracks Park. Earthquakes here in St. Louis. For those 18 years of age and older. Search 250 acres of the park for thousands of numbered eggs redeemable for prizes. The event costs $8 and will run from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. And the event will be held rain or shine. And remember to bring a basket for your eggs and a flashlight. It will be dark. To make a reservation or for more information, please call 314-615-5572. And a look at national and international news right after the break. We'll be right back.
The situation at the Japanese Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant continues to deteriorate after the plant was damaged in the March 11th magnitude 9.0 earthquake and ensuing tsunami. The Japanese government said Monday that the containment structure surrounding one of the reactors at the quake-battered nuclear plant is damaged and may be leaking radioactive material. The plant's owner disclosed that small amounts of plutonium had been found in the soil surrounding the plant late Monday as Japanese authorities struggled to explain how radioactive water was leaking into maintenance tunnels and possibly into the Pacific Ocean. Yukio Edano, Japan's chief cabinet secretary, told reporters Monday afternoon that there may be a leak from the containment vessel surrounding the number 2 reactor. Reactors 1 to 3 at the plant, located about 140 miles north of Tokyo, are believed to have suffered core damage after their cooling systems were knocked out by the earthquake and tsunami. Technicians restored external electric power late Monday to the number 3 reactor plant, a step towards restoring cooling systems, but hydrogen explosions inflicted heavy damage on the building of the number 1 and number 3 reactors in the days following the quake. Early Monday, a strong earthquake shook the northeastern coast and prompted a brief tsunami alert. The quake was measured at magnitude 6.5. The Japan Meteorological Agency said no damage or injuries were reported.
And to Libya now, rebel fighters pushed farther westward Sunday as troops loyal to Colonel Muammar Gaddafi retreated in the face of Western airstrikes. But U.S. Defense Secretary Robert Gates said that the international operation could last for months. Meanwhile, NATO said the alliance had decided to take over the entire military operation as soon as Wednesday. The rebels were able to advance after international airstrikes crippled Muammar Gaddafi's forces, whose strong artillery power greatly outmatched the Libyan rebels. In addition to capturing the city, the rebels were able to add some artillery to their limited firepower. The rebels continued to push forward Sunday, capturing Brega and Ras Lanuf, cities that serve as key oil towns. The majority of the country's oil supply is now in the rebels' control. The turnaround is good news for President Obama, who faced criticism from both Republicans and Democrats for not considering enough of their opinions or explaining clearly enough the United States' goals in the region and exit strategy. In a radio and internet address Saturday, the president stated, quote, "The United States should not and cannot intervene every time there's a crisis somewhere in the world. But with Gaddafi threatening a bloodbath that could destabilize an entire region, it's in our national interest to act, and it's our responsibility." Despite rebel gains in the east, Gaddafi's forces have regained control of the western city Zawara. And also in the Middle East, Syrian President Bashar Assad's minority government may be in trouble. The country is currently in its 4th day of nationwide protests as citizens defy government forces and gather in the street, burning tires, attacking businesses, and setting the government offices aflame. There are reports from the rebels that their protests began peacefully and did not turn violent until they were provoked by the government. The government, however, refutes these claims. In an attempt to quell the protests, the government has decided to allow a major demand of the rebels and repeal a law in place that allows the government to ban demonstrations and arrest dissidents. There has been no sign of success in stopping the protests.
Canada will be hosting their 4th parliamentary elections in the past 7 years after the House of Commons passed a vote of no confidence Friday and ended Prime Minister Stephen Harper's government. The vote that was 156 for and 145 against occurred in response to the Harper administration's failure to release information on the costs of crime legislation and the government's purchase of stealth fighter jets. Harper's government is only the 6th Canadian government to have lost a confidence vote. The election will be held in 6 weeks.
And here's some news that, there we go, and here's some news that will get you so excited to get on a plane soon. And around midnight this past Wednesday, 2 planes failed to receive landing instructions at the Reagan National Airport after the air traffic controller on duty, who was working his 4th 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. shift in a row, dozed off. The two planes with a combined 165 people on board landed safely without instruction. The incident has sparked concern over the Federal Aviation Administration's practice of only staffing a single controller on overnight shifts at some airports, especially Reagan. In response, Federal Aviation administrators revealed Friday new procedures for air traffic controllers. At night, regional radar facilities are now required to alert controllers working alone in an airport tower that has a plane approaching. and confirmed that there is someone prepared to direct the incoming flight. Slow teleprompter. Okay, moving on.
The Wisconsin legislature still hasn't made up its mind whether the bill stripping unions of their collective bargaining... Oh.
Wrong camera. Again, Mark Mason forgot a tripod.
Excuse us for that. Collective bargaining. Okay. Right back over here. There we go. Stripping unions of their collective bargaining rights is a law or not due to a state office posting the bill online last Friday. The final step, I hope everybody's still up with this one. The final step for a Wisconsin bill to take effect as law is to have it posted online per the order of the Secretary of State. Each bill is to be posted by the Reference Bureau within 10 working days of being signed by the governor. Secretary of State Doug LaFollette originally ordered the law to be posted this past Friday before a court order was issued temporarily restricting the law from taking effect. At that time, LaFollette canceled the publication date, but it still went through. Now Republican Senate Majority Leader Scott Fitzgerald, accompanied by other Senate Republicans, is arguing that because the law was posted, it is a legitimate law. Phil Neufeld, the president of the Wisconsin State AFL-CIO, called the posting a, quote, illegal backdoor maneuver. It is now up to the state Supreme Court to decide what happens to the law. Well, after that little doozy of a camera mix-up there, coming up next we have David's extended forecast. David, what do we have coming up?
Well, our weather is looking just about as topsy-turvy as our cameras are. We've got some more gray days coming up ahead. Rain and snow is in the forecast. More wintry weather later this week. Temperatures will remain below normal. Slight break midweek, but we have more rain to look forward to as we look towards Cardinals opening day. We'll detail that in the extended forecast coming up in a bit, and you will actually see me on camera right after the break.
Welcome back. As you can see, Chief Meteorologist David Keller's with us now. What do we got coming up, David, for the weathercast today?
Well, we have some more cool temperatures and precipitation in the forecast.
Oh,
you know, we saw some sunshine today that helped the warm temperatures a little bit over yesterday, but we were still well below normal for this time of year. We saw a high temperature of only 46 degrees here at SLU. They saw 46 out at Lambert as well. The normal high for this time of year is 60. So we were a good 14 degrees below normal for this time of year, and we saw lows in the upper 20s to around 30 here at SLU and at Lambert. That was below normal for this time of year, as well as we should be seeing lows right around 40. The record high set back in 1985, 89 degrees. So that shows you how warm it can get this time of year. However, we're not headed in that direction for at least a few more days. Here are those clouds that are filtering into our sky from the storm system that's developing off to our northwest over South Dakota. That's spreading some snow across Nebraska, and it's also trying to pump in some warmer air, but that'll have a tough time getting here as this precipitation will continue to expand over eastern Kansas and western Missouri and roll our way as we head towards the day tomorrow. Temperatures this afternoon were in the middle 40s across the bi-state region, up into the 70s near the Gulf Coast, where they were baking in the sunshine today. Off to our north and west, temperatures barely made it to the freezing point. In fact, many places did not get above freezing, where they still have very deep snowpack. This storm system is the one we have to watch for the next couple of days, as it will be developing and moving across Kansas into Missouri as we head towards Tuesday afternoon into Wednesday morning. And that means a chance for rain, and yes, it does change over briefly to snow, and we could see maybe an inch, maybe 2 inches at the most, mainly from St. Louis south, of some wet, slushy snow accumulation before it clears on out of here. High pressure builds in for Wednesday. That means partly cloudy skies, but still very cool conditions for your Wednesday afternoon. Now here's your forecast for Tuesday. When you wake up, 35 degrees on the chilly side, mostly cloudy. You probably want to grab a jacket as you head out to your 8 a.m. class. We could even see a few rain showers in the area as early as 8 a.m. So you probably want to have an umbrella with you as well as you head out for the day. For tomorrow afternoon, warming up to only 45 degrees. That is still well below normal. Again, normal high for this time of year, 60 degrees. Chance of rain, very cloudy skies, some light east-northeast winds. And by tomorrow evening, as temperatures cool off with the sun setting, we could see that rain switch over briefly to some heavy wet snow. Temperature around 38, falling to around 33 tomorrow evening. You could see, once again, an inch or two of accumulation, mainly from St. Louis south. Now here's your 7-day forecast. Temperatures do moderate a bit on Wednesday and Thursday, up to around 50 degrees. Opening day for the Cardinals on Thursday, 50, partly cloudy. We could see some rain, maybe mixed with snow, developing in the afternoon hours on Thursday. The light at the end of the tunnel, look at the weekend. 63 Saturday, 67 Sunday, and then the cold front comes through on Monday.
That's
more chances for rain and thunderstorms.
That's more of what we like to see there over the weekend, but at least opening day will be nice, right, David?
Hopefully. We're crossing our fingers. There's a chance of rain.
Woo.
We're hoping it holds off till after the game.
Right.
Don't want it to rain on their parade. Thanks, David. There's a parade. Yeah. And we'll be right back with a look at sports. Don't go away.
The reason I fight cancer is because it's going to afflict 1 of 3 Americans. And
I don't like cancer because my aunt had ovarian cancer, and it's just not a good thing. Not a good thing.
And I'm fighting cancer because I want a world with more birthdays.
I don't like cancer because my mate from high school died from it last year.
Don't care where you be, because where we gonna go is where we wanna be. The place where the native language is unity.
I relay because cancer sucks.
I relay because my mom's best friend had breast cancer, but she is a survivor of it, and that's why I relay.
I relay because I love birthdays.
I don't need no leader that's gonna force feed her. Concept to make me think I need her.
if you have an arena this size, 11,000 people, and you ask someone who's had cancer, someone in their family's had cancer, and then if you ask someone, do you know someone who has cancer, the whole arena's standing.
I relay because a buddy of mine from home, the reason I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan, has cancer and he's fighting it right now.
SLU basketball is fighting cancer to create a world with less cancer and more birthdays.
One tribe, one time, one planet, one race, one love, one people, one.
We're creating a world with less cancer and more birthdays.
The sum, but he dumb. He didn't know he had a will to overcome. Rejuvenate by the beating of the drum. Come together by the cycle of the hum. Freedom, when all become one. Don't care where you be, cause where we gonna go is where we wanna be. The place where the native language is unity.
And welcome back. Willie McKenna is here now, as he was earlier, with a look at Billiken sports. Willie, I heard out of 6 million brackets that ESPN collected, only 2 have correctly predicted the Final Four in this tournament. What's going on?
Well, that's not shocking at all, as we'll get to that a little bit later in the sportscast. And actually, President Obama is doing pretty well on his bracket. Last time I checked, he was in 99.6th percentile, so pretty high there for President Obama. But let's go ahead and start out with some SLU men's baseball. Freshman Brett Vanover surrendered just 1 unearned run in 6 2/3 innings to guide St. Louis past St. Joseph's 2-1 in the series finale Sunday in Camden, New Jersey. The victory was his 3rd on the season as the Billikens record their first Atlantic 10 Conference triumph. The Billikens improved to 15-8 overall and 1-2 in Atlantic 10 play. The Hawks now drop to 9-14 overall and are 2-1 in Atlantic play, in league play. Women's softball, Allison Brand drove in 3 runs to power St. Louis to a 5-4 victory over Charlotte Saturday in Game 1 of an Atlantic 10 Conference doubleheader at the D.L. Phillips Complex. In the nightcap, Brianna Winnete's 2-run home run in the bottom of the 7th inning had her 2nd of the game and gave Charlotte an 8-6 win and a split of the twin ball. St. Louis takes a break from Atlantic 10 play with a doubleheader at Southern Illinois Wednesday, March 30th. First pitch is slated for 3 p.m. Moving on to Major League Baseball now. Opening day is finally here for all you baseball fans, and it's coming up this Thursday. The first game will be the Detroit Tigers taking on the New York Yankees. That game will be on at 1 o'clock on ESPN. Then we have the St. Louis Cardinals taking on the San Diego Padres, 3 o'clock. That game, like we said earlier, is going to be played here in St. Louis at Busch Stadium. And then finally, the defending world champion San Francisco Giants will take on their arch rival, the Los Angeles Dodgers, at 6 o'clock. And that should really be a great game because that's going to be a matchup of 2 of the better teams in that National League West. The rest of the teams will then have their opening day on April 1st. NCAA basketball now, getting back to what Brett brought up earlier. For those of you college basketball fans out there who had high hopes for all your brackets, it looks like those hopes were pretty much shattered this weekend, as could have been disappointing for you or could have been great for you. But the biggest surprise of the weekend came yesterday when number 11 VCU upset the number 1 ranked Kansas. Kansas, for many people, were the favorites to win the NCAA tournament. The University of Kentucky then went on to be are the number 4 seed, and they went on to pull an upset when they beat the University of North Carolina. Finally, if that wasn't enough of a bracketology disaster for one tournament, Butler, ranked number 8, beat the number 2 seed Florida State. Both Final Four matches will be played this Saturday in Houston when the University of Kentucky will take on UConn. And VCU, the Cinderella story of the year, will try and do the impossible, and they will play Butler. And then the winners of those 2 games will play in the big dance.
Wow. You know, I should pull for Butler. I've heard I look a lot like the coach there, but I don't know. I'm sure that's a very debatable opinion.
We'll leave the viewers up to that.
We'll report, you decide. And finally, getting a little more serious, there were 2 deaths this past week that we're going to talk about. First of all, Geraldine Ferraro, the first female vice presidential candidate for a major party in 1984, passed away on Saturday. She was suffering from complications of a blood cancer, and it was a very big moment for the feminist movement in the 80s for her to be nominated with Walter Mondale. And of course they lost in that race, but it was a symbolic victory for women, and of course she's been admired by Democrats and Republicans alike as a pioneer in politics. And also Elizabeth Taylor, a very gifted actress that we all know of, passed away on Wednesday. Taylor was admitted to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center Medical Center 6 weeks ago and passed away there from complications of congestive heart failure. Taylor first appeared on screen at age 10 in There's One Born Every Minute. And over her almost 60-year acting career, Taylor appeared in 70 films, including classics such as Cleopatra, National Velvet, and Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, for which she was awarded an Oscar for Best Actress. She was also well known for her long list of husbands. She married 7 times. But Elizabeth Taylor will long be remembered most for both her films and the life she lived off camera. So kind of a sad moment there. And let's get a final wrap-up of our weather here, David, as you were saying, for the week coming up.
We are looking at more cool temperatures as well as several precipitation chances over the next couple of days, including a chance for rain and snow as we head through the day tomorrow and tomorrow evening. Again, a couple inches of snow possible, especially from St. Louis to the south and southwest. I think we'll mainly see rain, but there could be some snow accumulating on the grassy surfaces. Roads should stay fine. For your Cardinals opening day, partly to mostly cloudy skies. A high temperature around 50 degrees, so not bad, but there is a chance for rain towards the second half of the day, so we'll have to watch that pretty closely. And then we do warm up nicely for the weekend, so we have that to look forward to at the end of the week. So definitely some roller coaster temperatures over the next couple of days as we are well below normal, and we'll try to get back towards some more spring-like temperatures for the weekend.
That'll make it all the nicer.
That would be great.
Yes. Now we had a
little teaser, a little fun story for you. I'm sure some of you have heard about this, how the Oxford Dictionary has added LOL and OMG to their dictionary. I don't know what you guys think of that.
FYI and the heart symbol.
That is now a word.
Oh, wow.
So when you say I heart something, that is actually correct English, apparently.
I don't know.
I don't know how I feel about it. Yeah.
That's a little dubious, I think, for the English language. Maybe I'll have to.
Internet texting age has finally made it into the dictionary.
It has. Well, I don't know. It goes as 2012 is approaching. Don't forget that. So. Anyways, I think that's it for today.
Yeah, that looks like our show for tonight. Thank you so much for watching.
And don't forget, you can always get the latest news online at SLU-TV.slu.edu or follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Have a great night, everyone, and thanks for stopping by.